tell that for people?
Sure. I mean, I think that people do their best also.
Okay, we'll do both. Okay.
Yes, do both.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I feel one of the messages that I always would get from the guru is that it's better to come late than not to come at all.
Uh-huh.
And I feel it's better to come late than to not come at all.
Yes, right. But sometimes I think that people are just
No, sometimes life is crazy these days.
I know
Life is crazy these days, and our schedules are crazy these days, and people are crazy these days. It's wonderful that people can come.
that's good. But also, if people could just go a little better for the time that we begin. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, all of you. So now, shall we begin? Okay. So, oh, look, here's Aagia Pal, and there is, wait a minute, Gian Das Prem. How are you?
Satnam.
Sat
Sanam.
Satnam, good to see you. Okay, so here we go. So, palm together, breathe. And inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo Om Namo Gurudev
Gurudev.
Namo Om Namo Gurudev Namo Angare Name Jugakare Name Sagare Name Siri Gurudev Name Angare Name Jugakare
Jugadguru Namah, Satguru Namah, Sri Gurudev
Name Adgare
Namah,
Jugakare
Satguru
Name Sagare
Namah, Sri
Name. Long deep breath. And inhale and exhale. Okay, so now let's see, we have chat. Can we have that? Japa Saraswati.
Yes, I am doing it.
Good, thank you.
All right.
There we go. Okay, so Japa Saraswati, please talk, but slowly. And then at the beginning, you know about that first one, if would you at some point tell us there's a better way to
To
talk.
rewrite it?
Yes,
Okay.
and be slow. Go slow.
If you need to leave early, please tell us now. First we'll tune in, and then our message from Baba Siri Chand and our sibling beings. Please let us know about our actual source of darkness, evil, etc., so that we can understand our Homo sapiens evolve us during our Aquarian Age. For
Okay.
the meditation, oh,
Wait a minute. Does everybody understand that?
Not really.
Okay, what part do you not understand?
Um, After the etc., it says, so that we can understand our Homo sapiens evolve us during our Aquarian. I'm not sure the whole. Okay, so is the idea that we need to know about our source of darkness so we can evolve? I'm sorry. I Could you clarify, please?
Yes, for evolving way down from source, way at the original source, and
Mm-hmm.
then find out why we would why why would that happen to have darkness here now finally for us? Why and what is this evolving happened all the way through our humans?
Okay, thank you.
can
Uh,
I?
yes,
Well, I feel like I have to ask a question, or so it's please let us know about our source of darkness, evil. Do you mean, okay, our source of darkness, evil, so that we can understand um, human evolution during the Aquarian transition? How
yes,
we, yes, okay, got it. Got
good.
it, got it.
I'm
Thank
glad.
you.
I was kind of thinking about not using homo, what do you call it?
Homo sapien?
No, what was the other one? Mm, Cro-Magnon.
Oh, yes.
I well, I don't know if that's going to start or not. If that gets together, I don't know. So we want to find out what is the seed, you might say, for that darkness, that nastiness, this fear, this annoying, and what is happening now. Okay,
Okay.
good. Everybody? Okay, so now this is about meditation. 1 minute heart pumping, 5 minutes heart breath, and continue. And now for 5 minutes of heart breath and continue. And inhale. Exhale. And breathe. Okay. So today we only have a few people. So we have you to talk as long, well, something like that. You will have a little bit longer than normal. Okay, Aagia Pal.
All righty. A lot, just a lot.
Oh, good.
Um, okay, so everything is for me is so okay, I'm trying to organize my thoughts here. So first, I said to Baba, could you please listen to me? Because um I have I need to say how I feel about evil and how and so he said, okay. So Baba was listening as I went on this rant and I said, you know, Baba, evil is just snaking its way. It's going rogue through our government. And uh Trump is doesn't can't even hold a candle to the dangerous calculations and articulations of evil of JD Vance. And so as I was saying to him, Baba, I said, you know, we think that, you know, Trump is, you know, part of all of this. However, he's not. So I said to him, so, Baba, I said, you know, who I'm really concerned about is JD Vance and his he's smart. His intellectual abilities and real techno authoritarianism, and so forth. So Baba listened, you know, to this. Baba listened. Somebody just came in. Baba listened to this rant, and oh, Hari Munder also, and Bob. He's okay. So then what he showed me was a merry-go-round, this carousel that I used to love when I was growing up. I was addicted to the white horses on the carousel. And my poor dad, he would take me to the amusement park, and I could get on this carousel. And so so Baba is showing me this. I haven't thought about this in ages, and I would be on, you know, and it would get fast, you know, would go around, and I would love it. The faster, the better. And then, but my dad would be on the, you know, next to me or close to me. And there were vertical metal mm, um, you know, pipes, I guess, all around the outside for, you know, support. And my dad would hold on to it with the guy that was running it. My dad would just hold on to to this vertical bar as, you know, we go round and around. And so what Baba was saying is, remember that? And this is what you have to do now is because remember, you're a spiritual being having a physical earthly experience. And what you have to do now is hold tight, like your dad did, to the vertical, to the grounding, and to the grounding, and then up to the cosmos. So during this time when evil is just running rogue through all of this, the way to evolve, but the way to certainly survive is to hold tight to the vertical. And that's why he said, I'm here. And why we're all here is to learn how to hold tight to the vertical, to be, connected to soul, to ground, and to our cosmos. So, okay. So then I listened to that, and, and then, I said to him, Baba, I'm not sure about this, but I've just been having just little inklings about the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Venetians, and I've just been having it's hard to say, just a feeling. It's like just a tiny tinge of a feeling. And then I got you're probably going to think I'm crazy, because probably I am going crazy. I said to Baba,
You're not. Keep going.
uh, this is wild though. This is like, and I said to Baba, um, you don't think, sir, that I could be one of those? And then there was like
Was I?
me.
Oh, yes.
And then so then there's a because even for me to ask that question was like, I was shaking when I was asking that to him just now. And so then it was like quiet, and then I heard this like voice. It was very matter of fact. It was stern. It was, I don't know, maybe a kind of low frequency, and the what I heard was, yes, that could be. Then I heard, yes, that is. And I said, oh, I'm not really ready to hear something like that. That And then he said that, for me, my work is now first to be to work, to work, and to be, hold on to that vertical, hold on to vertical, and recognize that, yes, you don't understand it, but you're not the only one who would be. And there was no specifics, it was Pleiadian or to any of those. You're not the only one. And the people, and then he said, and the people who are attracted to you, and the people to whom you are attracted, are your kinsmen. In other words, your cosmic kinsmen. And and they most likely don't know it either. So this evolution, he says, where I'm going, and where we all, I'm sorry, my dog's barking, where we're all going is to is we're evolving towards, because he said, from Atlantis, there was uh cosmic beings involved in Atlantis, and then the escape from Atlantis to Egypt, and to uh yeah, I forget where. Anyway, oh, Mexico. And so I was, even, he said, and I didn't really go into it, but a part of that, and influenced by that. And so now I'm not the only one. So many of us were and are in the same situation. And so my work is to accept this, to acknowledge it, to place my attention on this, and while being grounded, while being holding on to vertical, moving forward, to help the others in my cosmic kinsmen to accept their role and their their job, so to speak, and who they are in the process of keeping helping um, our species to stay grounded, to stay with strong on vertical. And then he said, finally, this is the why you're here, and this is what evil has uh the result, and where evil is pushing us, and me in particular, to it's pushing me towards being stronger, holding, as I repeat myself, holding to vertical and acknowledging who I am, and acknowledging the cosmic ancestry that is very much a part of me. So all this is very new, and maybe like 15 minutes new, and the acknowledgement of all of this, and then he said, just uh, it's going to take a while, and to be patient with it. So that's wild. And so anyway, I was grateful, thanked him, because there was a lot in that.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Now, you were talking about darkness
Yeah.
somewhere in there, but I don't understand that.
Yeah, the darkness. Well, the darkness and evil, I uh somehow I it's strange, but I don't equate the two. So the darkness for me is coming from the veil, right? That I haven't been, but now I'm sort of getting more braver to recognize. The darkness is what's beginning to give way to some acknowledgement to the dawn, and but evil, uh, uh, to me, for me, is the force that is a like I said, that it was running rogue through the government. It's just like snaking its way. So evil being the more of a has more agency. So darkness, yes, goes along with it, but for me they're sort of associated, but they to me they're not synonymous. So the darkness for me was not wishing to acknowledge, and taking so long to even ask the question of Baba, and then that's the darkness that is now starting to fade.
It's fading.
And then as the darkness fades, I become more aware of, and I can see, this imperative, that it's imperative for me to hold tight onto this vertical piece, and to acknowledge that the fact it might be that I am very connected to the cosmic beings, and maybe part of my being, whoa, even saying that is scary, um is a cosmic being. So it's like we're like one in the same in some ways. I I'm sorry, because there's not really many words on this, but then, like I said, that was the darkness that was over me for a long time. and that is leaving, and it's imperative. I guess the evil has probably been the catalyst for that. Anyway, so that's my best explanation.
Okay. Now I want to ask you a couple of things.
Yep.
So, are you saying that you, Aagia Pal, are actually, you are cosmic beings?
That's scary to say, but that's what came through today.
There you go. Oh, you know what? I tell people about that, and even the name for my grandchildren
Yeah.
was, remember, with Robin thing, he would say, Nanu, Nanu. Remember that?
Wow.
So here we are. That's us.
Wow.
Mhm. So,
Yeah.
so here we are,
So
all of us.
where we go from here, um, you know, can't look back. Go, we'll see. But I feel like I'm more on board with all of this than ever before.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, good. So he didn't actually talk about the source of darkness. Is that
No, no. I mean, there was no. It's just that it is. It sort of. It is. He didn't talk about the source of it. It just is.
okay?
Because when I asked about it, it's like, you know, um, you you ask something about it, it's not the important thing to know is that it exists, and that with darkness, that I I have to move through it. That's part of what I have to do, and just as evil exists in some mysterious way, capacity, we know it when we see it. Um, it's beyond the intellect to explain it, or to even to understand it. We know what it feels like, and he says, you know what it feels like, and there's no real, you can't. It's not in my ability to understand it. I mean, explain it. It's not an intellectual kind of thing where we always want to be able to explain, but it's not something you can explain.
Okay. And now something else about your vertical.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you tell us about what that is? Suppose.
Oh, well, for me, well, like I said, for my dad, it was so he didn't fly off of the carousel. It kept him safe. He kept himself safe. Yeah, provided a strong support for him, and for me to remember this connection with soul and with the cosmos, to remember that connection and hold tight to it, because now with all this, everything that's going on, which is scary as all sin, is I have to hold on to that for dear life, and develop the strength, and then and show others how to do it. That makes sense.
Yeah, this is good.
So hold fast to vertical is what Bubble was saying, what I
Okay.
heard.
That's wonderful. Okay. Can I find you about times about what you have seen that or have found that for others and the whole earth for you, from you?
Uh, I'm I am not sure what you just asked.
Okay, in your years,
Yeah.
you have changed
Oh, yes.
to help with yourself and with others.
Yes. Yes. And so, but now the focus is on, well, of course, myself. I mean, that's very important. But now the focus is much more on sharing that with others and, and recognizing not just the divinity in the others, but also the cosmic connection, shall I say? The fact that among these others are actually our cosmic beings, our brothers, our brethren you mentioned. They are a part of many of us.
Okay.
Is that what you asked?
Yes, that's very
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Now, there's another thing.
Okay.
What about, do we have humans who do not have cosmic brothers?
Yes. Yes. Uh-huh. Yep. We do.
Oh,
Yep.
good. For instance,
But I think I have to ask Baba for that more. But that was, the yeah, that was what came through to me, that the people to whom I'm attracted, and the people that are attracted to me, like my friends and them wanting to friend me, um we have this in common. We have this cosmic connection in common,
mhm,
but not everybody.
okay.
And
For instance, the government, is that what you're talking about?
right, exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
So there's a dearth of you know anybody vertical in holding on to vertical in the government, and therefore it's become very destabilized and um collapsing,
What was the last?
collapsing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dark, right?
Yeah, that's okay. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
And now we can understand why we have to be so loving. Is that true?
So what? Loving? Yes. Yes.
Okay.
To build up our you know our cohort of cosmic beings, and build everyone up, help everybody to become aware of this, and yes, and being more, absolutely more loving.
Okay. So are you saying that these particular sibling beings, are they pure loving?
Oh, absolutely. They these are you can only feel them through your heart center, and they so it's not something you can understand, intellectualize, conceptualize. It's just, these are beings, a part of the universe, the benevolent of the universe. They are lovers, And yeah, and uh, that's who these beings are. It has not come to my attention, Baba, or from anywhere, that there are, and maybe I just, obviously don't know, but I've never been uh, become aware of beings that are evil or dark. These beings have evolved so, at least that I feel, that they're into the pure loving frequency and atmosphere. So I don't have to be worried about, oh, are you an evil being, or nothing like that.
Okay. So this is very incredible, interesting.
I know, it's wild. And I was hesitating to say something because I'm still feeling like, oh, you are crazy, girl. But
And
that
now you know.
now I know. and I can celebrate that. Right.
Right. Right.
As we all are. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you. All of our sibling beings, all of you.
Yes.
Mhm. Okay. So, Gian Das Prem.
Cats and mentioned maybe like things that I think my guy, of course, but who's
Wait a minute, I can't hear you very well.
Satnam, I can hear quartz crystal. I can hear piezo electronics coming through the speakers of somebody else.
Wait a minute.
Hello.
It's like other
Hmm.
sounds, other voices.
Speaking of crystals and numbers, interesting.
Okay.
Communication. Without crystals, we wouldn't be speaking here on the phone.
Okay.
So, Baba Siri Chand, and from the siblings, our relatives through matter. So, reflections and emanations through source of how light moves. Light moves with other shades of light. And within this way of beings, of communicative and moving beings such as ourselves, in our stage of our evolution through this species of seemingly familial species of two-leggeds, such as the Homo sapien today, and the amount of elements that also correlate with experiences and feelings and emotions. And then we come into a way of expression with that power, with that light that we're using, which is immense. To see it come out of the ground on its own through nature in an immense way that is expressing itself to us. And then here we are, able to hold a portion of that power in our hand as a device from matter. And with that power, there's taking and giving through noticing of the physical and the celestial layers, the patterns, structures, the angles of the angels, physical, emotional elements being actual bodies that become entities, and the changes in the patterns of frequencies of these actions, whether it's due to a plan or it's through nature's plan of that movement, that we are here involved with this source of all evil, darkness, light, allowing life to flourish. And the species and the evolvement are paired with nature and elemental life. And Baba Siri Chand has taken me through my memory and through my experiences, bringing me to a hall of reflections through experiential growth of the human through its history and its time here on Earth. And through notes and drawings, we can go back and sort of see in ourselves what we're creating through just our extremities and our instruments that we're using. That I think I have to go back on that, because I've just written down, I had the chance to write some things down here. But when we're sitting and when we're in that breath, right? There's a way that we have a becoming centered with a balance with all those elements, and directly dealing with the water and the air, in the air, everything that we're bringing, calling that in, calling that healing, and noticing where our breathing is coming in. If we have discomfort in our body, to focus the breathing on that part of the body, to sort of forgive the pain within there, to release to start the healing with the serotonins. And if it's music, and or maybe you have a ball or something that you can hold in your hand as a reminder of this bubble that we're on, moving around, to come to the delicateness of that, noticing the skin of the apple being the protective layer, and coming back to that, noticing that we are in a place right now where we're seeing a lot of breaking and taking of our freedom, that we are all being challenged to share with each other. Also, I can say this for I'll ask for forgiveness there too, because I'm offering an explanation, and sometimes our explanations can move us away from the learning. And for the message coming through is through the learning, whether it's in our shadows, or noticing the light, the way that it casts the light and creates a shadow for that darkness to sort of show us the way. Because without darkness, there is no light, right? Or light is the absence of darkness. And we can move away from the explanation there, because science is just offering us a lot when it comes to colors and vibration, and noticing aura of what type of light carries what type of energy, and how light moves through other light to create different colors. And that within that way, we're sort of seeing ourselves moving through it. So if I'm calling out to the light, saying, I can thank it, and saying, thank you for giving me this light. Or how about show me where I'm from? Show me where did my elements come from to allow me to be in this body now, in this life, knowing that somehow that was a life before it was a life for me, right? And we can look at composting and notice how life turns into other life, and going deeper. But for me, it's just sort of going back into that silence and noticing, and that we are changing as a group, and that it's okay to say within that conversation, we are changing. Yes, we are changing. like just to say that to somebody else. We are, right? And I think that knowing that experiential way that we've come to arrive here through the physical and through the emotional and through that way of being, that we're actually changing into acceptance, forgiveness, allowing, for that full thing to go through, for me to see myself in that position, whether it was previous in my life, this action, or just noticing that act that person is coming to, which I may not understand, but that I am with. And in order for me to be with this, billions and billions of people are here on the earth, right? And I could go Google, okay, what's the most common person here on earth? It's the Asian woman, just because they happen to be born more and they happen to live more or what have you, right? So that's just a part of who we are, of the human family, but that's just their, the way that their blood happens to make them look a little bit different. So if there's how many types of people that look a little bit different on this earth, and there's all of these species that look different on earth, how many species are there outside of the earth? And now that we have the idea of knowing that we're possibly not the only speaking life in this universe, as right, I mean, we can look at other lives here that are evolved and, they just go do their thing. They don't have a book that guides them and directs them. And I think with us moving into this new age of, of knowing and trusting, that way of freedom, allowing this movement to happen through all of these, we go into the numbers again, trillions and billions and zillions and quadrillions, and then just to come back to the simple fact of in that breath, right? So it can become confusing, but that way of forgiveness, and wow, there's billions of people here on the earth, and there's only a few of us who are really sort of, um, hell bent on ownership. So yeah, and for me that becomes personal too, because I believe that we all deserve a place to go to, and if we're in trauma, um, I don't think that there's people here that are waiting to help us. That's our greatest gift as humans, is to repair our own bodies, and within that body lies, so much, another how many more 10, 20, 50 bodies that we're dealing with. So I think if we go back and notice the directions and the inside and the simple things of our movement, and move, close to people that we can communicate with in a way of working towards that change. Yeah, to have that vibrations of millions go out. Yeah, like how we can click that dial, the magic of the crystals, and all of that electricity moving inside of the box, allowing us to communicate right now is yeah, why not have a way of mixing up something in the sink and then we fly away with it, right? I think that we're that close to and within this human technology, not, it's the part of the communication expanding into that other realm of the seeing, whether it's vivid daylight dreaming, or the physical actions that happen with the life that we're dealing with. My cat, bringing me in a bird, and the bird looking at me, and then the bird flying away because he made the decision to bring that into us and to show that life to us. And Waheguru in the proof of life, being all the way through the beings and the matter, and that which allows us now to, go have your aura read. Go and sit at the camera. I mean, they're getting fairly inexpensive now. it can't hurt to go have your picture taken and, maybe ground down or sing a song before you go and check out your colors. You're gonna get colors, and you don't have to go into an MRI machine, right? So we know that science is there showing us our brightness and our light from within and our, ability to be geniuses for each other in a way that, is accepting that way of freedom being within the communication of that acceptance. And then my experience, yeah, to share, I guess, in a way of when it kind of drops away is where the freedom can lie sometimes in that breath of that, yeah, that Waheguru. So thank you for the opportunity to be
Thank,
able to speak and learn at the same time. Thank you, Waheguru.
okay. Thank you very much. So now, you have already seen from the chat from Salt City, says, I apologize for my late arrival, delayed for an appointment, an important reason. So blessed to be here. We only listen today. Muchas gracias, Salt City. And then Sahej, just listening today. And we don't see them. And now for Harimander.
I am just listening today. Also, I just woke up and in time to listen to Aagia Pal and Gian Das Prem. So thank you.
Okay. Okay, so Japa Saraswati.
Satnam. The first thing I saw was, well, it was kind of a reflection about me, but it was also about the pandemic and how the pandemic changed our genes, that it was something that we spread all between the whole human race, basically, and that it changed our epigenetics. And I loved the term that Aagia Pal used. She said cosmic ancestry, because this was the next thing that came to me. Lately, I've been reflecting on what I was like in the past, especially kind of the 90s, and just what life was like, how much slower pace. And it was only just the 90s, it wasn't that long ago, But um, feeling um, feeling the feeling my past self, and what occurs to me about that time is how much more centered to men I was, that the patriarchy, that it was really a patriarchal existence for me, and now it is so much more independent. Um, but also inversely, there's a lot less family because of not having the patriarchy in it and what it took to get that way for me. Um, but then the line that I heard was from the Paul Simon song, "Older than I once was, younger than I'll be." And I wondered if everybody goes through these changes as we age, or if this is part of the epigenetic sort of changes of, I feel more recentering myself to my own experience, and what I feel about all of the shifts. I mean, it feels like the things that I hear myself saying from even only 10 years ago that I would never say these days. Um, I feel that it's becoming who I was created to be, and in that way, embodying the Sat Nam. But coming back to the pandemic, the message that I got from Baba is that it's this um, that it was part of what was to instigate a huge shift in consciousness, in everything, in the way that we shop, in the way that we socialize, in the way that, everything, and that it was part of preparing us for the Aquarian Age. Um, and that what we're in now is sort of labor pains. And I had said this last week, and I'd said this before about when my cat died and we were all covered with snot. And then when the baby was born in my car and my car was all covered in snot, like the afterbirth and sort of the mirroring of life and death, and that we're all sort of just covered in snot in this transitional time. And I asked Baba if that meant that the pandemic was evil, in that, like, was it evil prompting us to change, and what I felt was like predation, like birds of prey or animals, that animals are very inspired to evolve when they are being predated. And do we see predators as evil, or are they a part of the natural ecosystem, And and in that way, I was trying to view these things as neutral, or I am viewing these things as neutral. Um, and that was sort of my yeah, to be in a space of neutrality about what in the face I feel is a lot of death and sorrow. And um I don't see that doesn't I say it and I can say it, but that's where I have a bit of conflict. I don't feel that there are things that we should be neutral to. I do feel that there are things that we as a populace must rise up together and um assert our humanity. Um So I guess I feel in conflict, but I also feel that I feel that I identify as a light worker, and being a light worker, I don't want to visualize myself in conflict with the darkness. I don't want to be um in conflict with anyone. I don't want to be in opposition to it. I just want to exist with my warm little light. Um, so I guess that was my share.
Wow. Okay. 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 So I have another thing. So
Yeah.
were you saying that you don't want to know or identify you about conflict with the dark? Is that what you're talking about then?
Yes, because I really do identify myself as a light worker. I feel and see that as part of my true identity. And it's weird, but I just know that I know that that's part of me, and that I'm part of that. But when I was asking Baba about this, I got a lot of not exactly mixed messages, just like I couldn't come to resolution with stuff. I didn't find any resolution in this. I didn't find anything tied up into a nice, neat bow, because um, there seemed to be something a little bit unsettling about people trying to promote a lot of death. And and also, I have always been at my heart such a Shivite in that way that, like, I love the autumn, let those little fiery leaves burn sort of thing. Like, I'm just, that's just always been me. And, and so yeah, I guess I have that both in me at the same time, that love of the ash as well as the leaf, you know,
Mhm.
the living leaf. So, yeah, and I don't want to see myself in conflict with the darkness, that the light in me, I don't want the light in me to try to be combating darkness, to try to be beating back darkness, to trying to be seeking other lights in the darkness to I don't want that. I don't want to be in such a place of striving. I just want to shine my own little light on my own little corner of the earth. But I do find, when I'm out in the world of everyday people, that people seem to want to squish my light. People seem to be kind of not pleased about my light. And it does make me dim my light sometimes when I'm out in the big world. And that makes me sad. That makes me feel like I can't be myself, that I can't. And I feel, I saw moose poo in the forest a couple of days ago. And I don't know if you guys remember, or I saw a moose like in my
Oh,
front yard a couple of years ago. Like it happens in September. There are moose that come through my front yard in September. So I got really excited seeing the moose poo. I haven't seen the moose yet, but I found evidence. Um, and um, and the moose, like when I saw her a couple of years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, like literally right off my balcony. Um, the moose, it was a girl moose. It was a younger female moose, and the the moose medicine is kind of about not fitting in and needing to speak your piece anyway and being just like unabashedly taking up space. And there's more to it. That's what I remember from a couple years ago. And it was such a big message to me because it was right at the end of my time at the ashram, and I was feeling like a big moose in a small fish tank. Like I just felt like, oh my gosh, it's all over me. And that's sometimes how I feel about, well, it was so liberating to me and I guess that's part of what I mean about decentering the patriarchy, with the way and being more independent. It is more lonely and it's a lot harder to be totally self-reliant and to not have a community around you, but also, there's not a lot of ugly expectations and patriarchal sort of demands. So I guess though when I see and I find that when I try to deal with the world of everyday people, that they really like to heap patriarchal demands on me, and that they really feel a little bit intimidated or otherwise yucky about my light and try to stifle my light a bit. And I find that I'm a little bit hurt by it, and then I retreat to my little spot in the woods where I shine my light under the stars, and we are just fine out here. But I do need to interact with the world of everyday self a lot more, and I don't want to be in conflict with it. I really have to find ways to get along in society. I can't shun society, just because I don't like the patriarchy. I do, it's not even that I don't like the patriarchy. I don't like the way that I centered the patriarchy to my own detriment for so many decades, and not just the patriarchy, but the idea of conforming to some patriarchal ideal, and and all of that. Um, yeah. So this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. But I have to, I guess that's part of my evolution is just going forward with being as authentic to myself as I can and also being gentle with myself and not putting myself in positions where I think I could really get hurt some more.
Okay.
Um,
Can I ask you something?
yeah.
Okay. So what you are concerned about is your ego. In other words, who you
Mm.
are. Is that true?
Yeah, and also who I think I am. My ego is all in my thought.
Okay.
My ego is all in my thought. It's and my soul self is all in my feeling, but I don't want to feel hurt by it feels risky to me. I feel I feel like when I go into like I've had it happen in workplaces where people feel intimidated by me
Mhm.
and then it's impossible to work together. I've been set up to be fired by jealous coworkers in the past, like, or people who just didn't want to work with me, and I don't know why because I thought we had good relationships, and it's happened a couple of times, and it's
Okay.
hard for
Okay.
me, but
Excuse me. Uh,
yes.
with your knowing, your on the other side with the ego,
Hmm.
knowing uh, who you really are. Is that your pure, uh, pure name or knowing? What is that from? You were being telling me about that. You,
Yeah,
you are Satnam. Is that right?
it is. It is
Okay.
right.
Okay. Now stay with Baba Siri Chand. Do you, through Baba Siri Chand and through your, what do you call them? Our sibling beings,
Hmm.
can we move simply from there and to move through society? Is this possible? Feel that inside you, in your neutrality and knowing. Who are you?
I am Japa Saraswati.
Which means,
It means that what I see is I see uh a u- I don't know how to call it. I see an outfit that's almost like a uniform, but the Quakers would call it simple, Quakers are all about simple things.
mhm,
And I feel that it's a I want to call it a uniform, but it's not a uniform. But let's call it a uniform for ease of terminology, and that I can interact with people using my uniform, which is almost like my everyday self. And that then when I know that I'm safe and that these people are friends, then I'm seeing that I can use more exciting, colorful clothing after after we know each other a little bit, you know?
Okay,
And that's and I feel like that is, um, it feels funny to say, I'm not sure if this is right, but it feels like that everyday self is almost a uniform for soul, is what Bubba's telling me
mhm.
to use it like a uniform and a conveyance for soul, for my body, to help take care of my body, but that it's not really it's just like clothing for my soul is kind of what I'm seeing.
There you go. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're going to use that with other people's society, right? Because you are moving right there from Baba Siri Chand and Sibling Beings,
hmm
and
Oh,
that's who we are, right?
yeah, and of course he would show it to me with clothes because I love clothes so much.
There you go. And so, and so ask Baba Siri Chand, uh, when you do that, are you are you still not uh, pain or hurt from that?
Yes, still not that's the way to keep myself safe. And it's almost like he's showing me almost like modesty, like the way that so I was really good friends. I don't know if all Muslims do this, but I was really good friends with this Muslim girl in elementary school and all the way through high school. But when we were in elementary school, she didn't wear a hijab. And then when she turned 13, she felt that she wanted to start wearing a hijab, and we're like in white New England, which was really brave of her. And and but you know, we were little girls, so when we would come back to play at my house, after my bedroom door would close, she would take off the hijab, and that was just like the way that we always were, and that the girls would be girls, and honestly, we would play dress up with my clothes and we would do all kinds of things. And then, but my understanding for her at least was that, you know, that like with other girls you can be intimate like this, but that the hijab is for covering up for outside of the house and for men. And
Okay,
like, I
there you
guess
go.
I feel a little bit that way. And so anyway, when she's in her house, you know, will wear what she wants, and she just puts this on like a cloak almost for going outside. And she has all exciting clothes on underneath her the hijab. And also anyway, so then she yeah, and she was wonderful. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun together growing up. And I feel this imagery like the uniform for everyday self, the uniform for soul. I feel like there's a modesty that comes with don't show your soul to just everybody in the same way that you can't show your butt to just everybody. You know, like this is just there are levels of intimacy that you know, you probably only show your butt to your doctor, you know, and your partner or some your immediate family sees your butt, and the rest of the world probably doesn't see your soul. It's like there are layers of clothes that are appropriate
Okay,
for interacting.
can I tell you what I do?
Yeah.
Okay, with that, I just listen to Soul or Baba Siri Chand or oh, those beings because I can hear all there. So the people around me are very kind, very nice people, but I can't tell them about, uh,
hmm
well, you know, because we can't talk us with us
hmm
like that. So I just listen from soul, and then I become like the loving puppet. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell other people what their name was. I would, and finally, because it was hard, so I would say, you can be Howdy. And, and then I would become Howdy Doody
Mm-hmm.
because I am like Howdy's puppet, soul. I am soul's puppet from me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
And so that way helps not only me, but all the other people around me. Do
Yeah.
you understand that?
I feel like, didn't you ask Aagia Pal a question very similar to that? Was doesn't it that this evolution helps not just us, but all of the people around us
Mm-hmm.
too?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Did you ask her about something?
No, that was part of her message was you asked her, um, does whatever behavior I'm not drawing a blank on it right now, whatever behavior doesn't for this evolution, doesn't it help um us and all the people around us? And that's part of what I feel about bearing the light is that it is I'm bearing the light because it's my light because I have to bear this light that it's keeping me warm and nourished and lit and afloat. But then when I do it not in combat or competition with the darkness, but just that I'm shining my own light in my own way that's expressive of Japa Saraswati, and that then is helpful to other people and inspiring to them to shine their own light in their own way. And I find that in my yoga class, the class that I went to last night, it's my posture looks so different, and that's part of where I felt the moose medicine too, was that I can't be fixated on how I'm not the same as everybody else. That would take so much time and energy, and I just have to be in this place of expressing
I know.
my myself
It's
and
come exactly from soul or
yeah,
Siri Chand. And
yeah,
that's it, not the other stuff.
yeah.
You can't, they'll say woo woo. Okay. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
But that's me. But that's okay because I
Yeah.
think it's funny.
Well, it was even a little bit hard for me last night at class because I'd agreed to meet my friend Melissa, the other girl pilot that I meet at yoga. And so and then the because of the way the sign up was, I got there and I still got there 15 minutes early, but I usually sit in the back row where less people can see me. And then I had to sit in the front row for class. And then I felt like kind of self-conscious. Everybody's going to be looking at me and, all of that. And then I was right in front of my friend and I was really self-conscious that, she's going to think I'm stupid or something like that. And, and then, and then it was totally okay. I pray to Baba, not just I don't pray to him, but I ask him to accompany me through my practice and to help me meet my practice with integrity, like at the beginning of every practice. Like I really, and then I feel I feel his blessings always in certain poses. Like I just really feel him, especially in some poses. And and I have to take that with me as almost it's part of my courage. I guess the courage comes from inside of me, but it accompanies my courage.
Because that's who
And
you are. Do you
yeah, and
understand that? It's not different from you.
Mm-hmm.
It's who you are.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I first starting about learning about soul listening,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Hadi Munder was one of the students.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I said to Hadi Munder, what do you think? She said, well, I think that's okay. She said, but, because I read everything. And then she said, but what about intuitive? And I said, what? That really, she got me. So that really made a difference for me,
Mm.
is to come straight from soul or our other beings, Baba Siri Chand,
Mm-hmm.
come straight only, not from your thinking, not EDS, none of that. Only,
Mm-hmm.
only from uh, from your intuitive or your meditation. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're
Yeah.
doing that, if you're feeling bad, upset, uh, heart breath, if you're doing that from not from heart breath, then that's terrible. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you see that, you need to change that with heart breath. Do you understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just interject something to Japa Saraswati?
Yeah.
Just one thing that occurred to me from Soul. You talked about being a light bearer, and what Soul said to me was, and you talked about courage and all that. It's a double entendre. Light bearer, yes, bringing light, but
Mm.
bearing light. If you have to bear the light, it's not easy. It's heavy to
Mm.
be a light bearer. So just, what you're talking about and what you're going through is part of being a light bearer. And
Mm-hmm.
that's all I want to say. So
That's lovely. Thank you for that.
sure.
Good. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Okay. Hadi Munder, are you there?
Yeah,
Okay. So what do you think?
I'm
Are you awake?
I'm a little flabbergasted that I would be saying to you, what about intuitiveness?
Yeah.
That's a little astonishing.
Well, you told me the truth.
Yeah,
It changed. It changed me. Thank you.
well, you're welcome, and I humbly, wow,
Yes. We're all with each other with humility. Because when we have that, when we become simple, uh, because that's when, or neutral, that's where our truly about soul, heart, let's see, heart breath with Baba Siri Chand and with our beings. Because that's us. Isn't that amazing? That's who we really are. And that's why we uh, were made for some reason to put us as our beings within us. And here we are. And we're here with the change in age, Aquarian age. That was it. And that's why we're here. You got it?
Mhm.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, oh, okay. So, also, I was saying earlier, maybe people can come a bit. I would like to see people more at the beginning of the group. Otherwise, keep didn't have this, did not get the same thing as everybody else. No, I understand about people have problems or difficulties. We should say some things, but that's the reason I ask if you all please come more at the beginning. Okay. Well, thank you. And I appreciate you all for letting us together and to become who we are together. Isn't that amazing who we are? Okay. God is good. God is all the time. Okay. So breathe and heart breath. And now, Gian Das Prem, will you be leading our soul?
Sure.
Okay.
We will do one version of the long time sun followed by Satnam at the end.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take a deep breath in and exhale, and then inhale to begin. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on.
Yeah. Love you all. See you next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Love you.
Okay.
Great week.
Okay.